Hi, everyone. This is Tia Bottom with Time Marker Photography and Legacy Living with Tia. Every week, I interview amazing women inside my Facebook group, Empowering Time Markers. These are women of value that bring amazing things to the table. And this week, I have the lovely, beautiful Holli Nesbitt, and she is a functional medicine coach and wellness entrepreneur. She is so sweet and so passionate. That's what I was going to say. And that's why I tripped up over my words. So just thank you so much for being here and my craziness. How are you today?
Yes, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm honored to come on your platforms and really just share a little bit today. And yeah, I'm really glad to be here. So thanks for having me.
Awesome. We met through Polka Dot Powerhouse. So you're one of my dot sisters, and I'm so glad that we got to connect. I've known you for over a year now, and we've had calls together, and you are a wealth of information for health and gut and wellness. So tell me how you got into that.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I kind of got into this whole functional medicine health coaching and really being passionate about helping others in their health and in the online space, really because of my own health struggles a handful of years ago. It's kind of been a while now, but I was really going through some significant health issues. And a lot of the doctors really didn't know what to do with me. I was kind of deemed a little bit of a medical mystery, and really getting bounced around a lot and feeling really just sad about it. And, leaving appointments and just feeling like, I can't believe this is my life. Like, how can they not figure out what's going on with me? And I was having a lot of stomach issues, a whole bunch of stomach issues. Food didn't ever really agree with me. Was having a lot of fatigue, it just breakouts, different things. And long story short, we ended up finding out that our home had mold toxicity, which I had no idea even what that was at the time. I didn't even know how it affected your immune system and body. And by this time, I had been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. And my body was just like really inflamed and a mess. And so the reason that I found out about the mold and everything was because I really started seeking answers through holistic route, but really like going to the internet and just kind of searching for answers and really being an advocate for myself and my health. And I remember one doctor visit, the doctor handed me a card and said, it's in your head. Sometimes we just think our stomach hurts when it really doesn't. And I think you should just go see somebody. And I thought, you're kidding. Like, there's no way that's possible because I really feel horrible. And I know that there are really great doctors out there. It's just sometimes when you're dealing with chronic issues, you kind of tend to fall through the cracks. And that's really where I was. And so having gone through that, finding what we call functional medicine is really looking at the body as a whole and looking for root causes and how everything's connected and affecting each other. Finding a doctor, running, a lot of tests and really getting to work, changing my lifestyle and diet and things like that. And I knew that going through all of that wasn't going to be for nothing. And at this point, I had developed a huge passion for, just all of this awareness. And we started changing as a family and the kids and my husband, how we ate and how we lived our lifestyle and how we approached health. So I knew I wanted to help other people with it. So that's why I decided to become a functional medicine health coach. And as a coach, it's really my job to bridge the gap between patient and doctor. So maybe somebody goes to the doctor, um, and the doctor says you have such and such diagnosis, you need to make some changes, and the person's sitting there going, okay, now what? Like, I feel really overwhelmed. And so that's where I come in and we work together. It's really me supporting them, making their lifestyle changes and just really helping take the overwhelm away. So that's really kind of how I got here. It was a little bit of a crazy ride for a while, but I really wouldn't change it. It brought me to where I am today and why I do what I do. So
Yeah, it can be
Yeah.
very deflating and discouraging when you're dealing with something like that. I've had similar things happen to me,
Mhm,
and they thought it was in my head, and
mhm,
it's so annoying. And when you know it's not, then you get real angry, and it really pushes you into passion, into finding out the truth.
mhm.
So I commend you on that, and not just laying over and taking it, and being who you needed, right? You're
Mhm.
stepping up and saying, "You know what? This happens and I'm here to help you." So thank you so much for raising your voice for people that like me and you that need that extra support and help. You could probably say that you're a patient advocate too. That might be something that would
Yes,
be awesome to do. So,
absolutely. I
yeah,
always Yeah, I always tell people advocate for yourself. We doctors are human, tests are man-made. They're not the know all be all. And if you live inside your body and you know how it feels, and if you know something's off, keep advocating, keep seeking answers. Don't give up. So
absolutely, absolutely, and it's
yeah.
always learning, always learning.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So, I wanna ask you, so you kind of touched on this, but what makes you different in the health field? Because there's lots of health coaches out there, but you're
Mhm.
different. So tell me a little bit about what you do for people.
Yeah. There are a lot of, I feel like we kind of live in a vomit almost of information these days. There's so much out there, and it can get a little like fuzzy and weeding through and what's what. And so what I really like to do with clients is really make the plan individualized. I don't believe that there's one way everybody should eat the same way, or everybody should follow the same protocol. Like we Not every human is going to fit into the same box, and we shouldn't. We're all made differently and uniquely. And so I think when you work with me, we really tailor the protocols and things to your specific needs. And some people, they don't even have, they're like, I don't even have anybody that can, I don't have a doctor. I'm just trying to figure out some answers here. I can help you with that. Or maybe you do have a protocol that you're trying to follow with your doctor, but you need help with it.
Mhm. Mhm.
But it's always very individualized and really working to tailor the needs specifically to you and what works for you. Because I think it's really important. A lot of times, people, by the time they get to me, they're just like, I've been jaded. I've been to so many different people. Nobody knows what to do with me. I don't have answers. And can you please help me? Like, do you have any insight? And so I think it's really important for people to be heard, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
treated as an individual. So,
I love that because I mean, you know how different you are when you take a intolerance test, and it's like,
yeah.
I mean, it's so you, right? Like it's just based
Yeah.
on you and your chemistry and all of the things. So let's switch
Well,
gears.
and
Oh,
to
sorry, go ahead.
well, to add to that too, because you with talking about intolerance, I will say that, with as being a functional medicine health coach, I really do believe that the 3 areas that I always work with people in, because these are the 3 areas that I really found help with in my health when I honed in on them, and that's working on gut health, and really focusing on your gut and making sure that there's like no infections in there and things like that. You mentioned food intolerances, so definitely gut health is a pillar of my business. Detoxing the body. I feel like we live in toxic soup these days, and toxins really make an impact on our immunity and all those things. And then, of course, the nutrition piece with our food and just cleaning up our food. So, just to even break it down into those 3 pillars,
Mhm.
oftentimes people, when they really focus on those 3 things, they get a lot of headway.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, for sure. Because that's kind of what
mhm.
I have done, and you are amazing at it. You're a wealth of knowledge. You have a Facebook group and page, and you have a new website coming out. So I'm excited to see that. Like you are, I mean, you're amazing. So thank you again for all the people
Oh,
that you
thank
help.
you.
You touch the lives. spreading knowledge and things like that. So thank you. You were also a mom. So what is the
Yes.
best part about being a mom to you?
Oh, there's so many. Like, honestly, I just think that just the experiences and being able to enjoy them and, just laugh together, spend time together. It's almost summer and we get to go hiking. Um, it's not as stressful because school's not in and we really just get to enjoy each other. And kids do the craziest things and they make you laugh sometimes. Sometimes they drive you crazy, sometimes they make you laugh. It's just, it's a wild ride, but
Mm,
they really add a lot of joy to my life and my husband's life, and
yeah.
they're wonderful. I would never trade them for anything. So,
How old
yeah,
are
I can't really say enough good things.
they? How old?
They are 13, almost 14, 10, and okay, so I said 13, almost 14. That makes it sound like I have two older ones. So I have a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old, and then a 5-year-old. So a boy, a girl, then a boy. Yeah.
Aw, that's pretty, yeah,
Yeah.
I understand. And it is a wild ride, not one that you would do
Yeah.
over and over again for sure. So you mentioned hiking. What are your top 3 hobbies that you like to do in your free time?
Yeah, absolutely. So I really do enjoy nature. I love getting outside in the nature, hiking, sightseeing, just even taking a simple walk or going for a bike ride. Like, we just really enjoy being outside. Um, and then this one is like, I just actually like watching Netflix with my husband. Sometimes it's kind of like our downtime where it's like I don't have to think about, anything except for just like a funny movie. I think it's good for the soul to just laugh a lot. And so sometimes TV and movies are really do that. And then the other one that is really big, it's become a hobby, but it's also become a lot of part of my lifestyle, and that is really just supporting self care. So I'm a big fan of always supporting my health naturally and managing my health. So I love to do like Epsom salt baths. We just recently got an infrared sauna. So
Mm,
my husband and I will sit in there and like chat for a while, but yet we're detoxing and that's fun. So things like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
How did you meet your husband?
Yeah, so I met him through my cousin. My cousin and him went to church together.
Aw,
And this was like way back in the day when the malls were busy and they were the thing and everyone was shopping. And so we were shopping one afternoon and my cousin and I were talking and she kind of like turned around. She was like, "Oh, hey." And I looked up and there was some guy, like there was three guys and this woman. I guess he was with his mom and his brothers, and I just saw the back of him, but I didn't see him.
mm.
And then my cousin, she was my neighbor also, and she came over and she said, "Hey, this guy from church, he saw you at the mall and he wants to know more about you, who you are. You want to come?" And I was like, I don't know." So I was like really nervous, but yeah, so then we ended up meeting and the rest is kind of history. So,
Aw, I'm so glad.
yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
So you watch Netflix, you like comedies. Is there any movie that you watched lately that you would recommend or show?
So there's something about me is really bad. Like, I have the worst time remembering titles of movies and actresses' names. Like, I just don't remember. I can remember the movie, but I'm just like, what was that called? I don't remember.
Do
So I
you
really can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah.
do you have a book that you're reading that you want to share with anybody or one of your favorite books?
One of my favorite books. So right now, actually I have it right beside me. I'll
Look at
show it to you. I'm kind of a little bit of a nerd when it comes to gut health and all that kind of stuff. So I'm actually reading this book right now. It's called Healthy Gut, Healthy You.
that. Nice.
So it's really just about overcoming digestive issues and digestive infections and things like that. But I find that I used to really love reading a lot for pleasure, and I still do, but I find that just with coaching and having the kids and trying to keep up with all things life, that my reading tends to be more educational these days instead of fun. Um, Maybe
Well,
sometime that'll hopefully change, but there's only so many hours in the day.
I'm the same way. I tend to go for something that I want to learn more on. So it is fun to me, if that makes you feel better, learning about stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like two for
Yeah.
one.
Well, and I think we can always be learning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
for
Absolutely.
sure.
So where would your dream vacation be?
So actually, funny thing, my dream vacation really just came true in December because my husband and I have been married for our 15th wedding anniversary was in December.
Mhm.
And our honeymoon, like we didn't have the money for going anywhere extravagant, whatever. And we've always wanted to go somewhere together, tropical and just romantic and nice. And so here he told me we were going to Florida for our anniversary. And I was like, okay, like, wow, that's really nice. He's also a roofing contractor. So he told me we were going to a roofing convention, but it would be on a resort and he would only have to go to stuff for like one day and the rest of the days would be fun. So we
Awesome.
get to the airport and the ticket is like not scanning. And I'm like, what's going on? And I asked the lady, I'm like, why is this not working? She goes, that's because you're in the wrong line, sweetie. You need to go get in the international line. And I was like, what? Like, where am I going? So we actually got to go to Jamaica,
Oh,
which it was always on my bucket list and just to go somewhere tropical with him. And it was such a great time. And the other dream place I always wanted to go to was Utah
oh yeah.
because it's beautiful. I love the hiking and the beautiful scenery. And I always wanted to take my kids there. I went there a long time ago and I always wanted to take them. So we got to go there this past summer too, because everything was so cheap because of
Right.
COVID. So I'm really blessed actually. We scratched some things off the bucket list this past year. So
Yeah.
it was really a great time.
The silver
Yeah.
lining of crazy.
Yeah. I know everything was so much cheaper. So
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, we've been friends for a year, so I knew about the vacation
Mhm.
and I loved following you on that. It was so great. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you." Like it was so good. And I could just feel your joy and
Yeah.
I just loved it. I was like, I needed that. I needed to follow you and see your joy because December was pretty rough for me. So thank you for sharing your life with me and everyone on the internet. Then so coming up, you're gonna do a live on Wednesday. And I think we discussed how to support immunity through gut health, which could help everyone,
Yeah.
really. I'm so
Mhm.
excited to hear what you have
Yeah.
to say. I love when you do your lives. You have an amazing group and a huge connection in the
Uh-huh.
world of gut health and functional medicine as it is. So, thank you so much for being here and letting me sitting down and talking with me. So, is there anything you want people to know or to look for? Website's coming, right? Anything?
Yes, yeah, I am going to be launching a website and a blog very soon within the next like week or two.
Awesome.
I'm excited about that, and I'm gonna have different things on there to help with improving your gut health, help with improving your immunity. I think that's important. I'm really big on empowering you with tools that you can use for you and your family. So that's going to be there. So whenever I do my live on Wednesday, I can actually share I have what's called Banish the Belly Bloat freebie. And if you opt in for that, not only do you get that, but then you can be notified when my blog comes up. So you can have access to the other freebies as well. So yeah.
Awesome. And I will share the links down below. And I'll update it too when your website goes live. I'll make sure it's in there for the people that are catching this after. So thank you so much again for being
Yeah,
here and
perfect.
for being my friend. You inspire me all the time and help me keep going.
Aw.
So thank you.
Yes, thank you, Tia. I just love you. You have the biggest heart for people. You're an awesome human for sure. I'm so glad that we met at Polka Dot Powerhouse. That was awesome.
Yes,
So,
thank you. And everybody else, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check all our links down below and follow Holly because she is amazing and um, so passionate. I just love what you do. So thanks again, and I'll see you next week.
all right, sounds good. Bye.
Bye.